Hey, we're going live right now.
Hey, Mr. Pond Boss,
How you like that song?
tell me how.
I've got to get my own song.
You need a song.
Let's do it now.
Yeah.
Hey, Mr. Pond Boss.
Hey,
you're
we
the
got one
one
person, Jason Nepstad, checking in from North Carolina already.
so
Look at there.
much
Hey,
fun.
Jason,
Well,
you're a
I
Pond Boss
woke up
subscriber.
this
You know the
morning
drill.
and I had
Oh, we got
to
4
phone
people
my
up now.
pond.
Look at there.
Meeting Mr.
How
Pond
about
Boss,
that?
yeah, we're gonna chase us some.
Let's just
Fired
wind
up
the
on
music
spot.
on down. Holy cow. Hello, everybody. Bob Lust, the Pond Boss, checking in from somewhere between Sealy, Texas and Cat Spring, Texas, hanging out with my friend Clint Steffens. Clint, how in the world are you, buddy?
Great.
Conservation Inc. What do you do?
I build private lakes, specialize in fishing lakes. We build however you want it.
So you've been at it a long time. I mean, that's one of your passions right now. One of your driving passions is to go out and work with the landowner and figure out what they want.
Absolutely.
And help them build the pond or lake of their dreams.
Absolutely. It's finding out what your client wants.
Yep.
Their vision, find out what their dream is, and then you try to turn it into that as best
And
possible.
that's really fun. You know, Clint's got a pretty cool background. He grew up in the cattle business, actually, as a cowboy. I mean, you knew when you were how old you were going to be a cowboy?
As soon as I learned to speak.
Probably about 2. And you're on the back of the horse, you know, working cattle on the family cattle ranch and other ranches around, I presume. And then you grew up, you went to college, and what did you want to do in college?
Play music.
Really? Okay. Holy cow. He showed me a picture of himself while he was in college, and hippie's not a good word.
No, we weren't into all that.
So you were what's your favorite music?
Rock and roll.
Rock and roll music.
Heavy metal.
Okay.
80s metal.
Heavy metal, rock and roll, and he's a cowboy, and he loves to build premier ponds and lakes. We're gonna have a whole lot of fun tonight. Good gosh, we got a lot of folks checking in already. We got, holy cow, Clint, we've already got 26 people lined up. I'm gonna get up on my laptop while I'm waiting for the internet connection to kick in. $35 a year, folks. That's all it is, right here. And you know, I see Bill Russell, Steve Lewis, a Fisheries Biologist up in Hot Springs, Arkansas. He likes to check in. But if you guys will hashtag Pond Boss Magazine in the comments section, click like, but most importantly, share this video to your timeline, because we're trying to build an audience so we can teach more people about what we do. So while I'm getting this caught up here so I can see it, if you guys are real interested, if you will do that, hashtag Pond Boss Magazine, click like. There's Michael Gray. Look at there, Michael Gray from Nashville. Checking in, man.
Awesome,
Michael.
man.
Yeah, you met Michael at the last.
We had a great time at the convention.
Yeah, he's a great lake
years
builder
ago.
over in Tennessee.
Awesome.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And you know, as we're talking about it, there's all kinds of resources out there. We got Otto's book, Just Add Water. We've got Perfect Pond, Want One. So people that are wanting to buy land or build a pond or lake, there's great resources in here. In a minute, we're going to really kind of dig into what it takes to build a lake or a pond. So here we go. Good gosh, look at everybody there. Holy cow. Frank James is checking in. John Funk, Mike Augustine. Good to see you, Mike. I'd like to talk to you and kind of catch up on what you've been doing lately. I'm going to scroll back down here. Dave Weber, Susie Nugent, Richard Daggas, Bill Russell, Dick Tabbert, Jason Nepstad, Brad Rom, Mike Cottrell. Let's see here. We got Suzanne Steffens. Who's that?
That would be my mom.
Your mom. Hey, Mom, he's hanging out with some pretty
Hi,
questionable
Mom.
company. At least we're at his house, so he won't get kidnapped. Jose Latoria, man, dude, you kind of escaped the hurricane over there in Florida. You're in the right part of the state. Clayton Bounds. We got Erica Steffens Mulcock. Who's that?
That would be my sister.
Your sister. We got a family affair going on here. I love that. This is going to be really fun. So, Clint, you've been in the lake building business for about how long?
21 years.
21 years.
21
What
years.
What motivated you to do this?
I was working for a construction company, and we primarily did clearing, a little bit of dirt work. I worked there for about 2 years. We did everything from clear for subdivisions and street right-of-ways, utility easements. I did a stretch down in South Texas clearing for seismic line.
Oh, so you're doing some oil field work.
Yeah, so that was ahead of the, the shaker trucks and things like that. So that was interesting. And then came back to town, was working for him for a while, and kind of said, well, gee, I'm making this guy all this money. Why shouldn't I not make it for myself?
Try to figure that out. And so that kind of helps you decide to branch out.
I did.
And you went to the Belleville Meat Market today. Sausage. I hear Belleville Meat Market advertised on the radio all the time. Pretty good stuff.
Very good.
So, when a landowner comes to you, look at there. There's Fred Bingaman checking in from Brownstown, Illinois. Victor Moberg, Todd Austin, Molly Nana Garcia. Hey, Clint, who's that?
Would be my aunt.
Your aunt. Man, the whole family's checking in. I love this.
Hey, Aunt Molly.
Ricky Kim. So, how do you get where does your business come from?
After being in this long, the majority of it comes from word of mouth. We strive to do the best job we can possibly do for people. And as long as you're honest with them and you shoot straight, there's not too many times you're not going to get a return phone call.
So when somebody calls you and says, hey, yo, Kenny Smith up the road, you built him a lake and I like his lake, will you come talk to me about it? So what's your process for going through that to kind of figure out what you need to do?
I always want to meet on, well, first I ask them what their, what's their goal, and to make sure that we're not talking about a 15-foot koi pond off the back porch. No offense to those folks, but
that's just not not your deal, not your core business.
So then I'm always insistent on a site visit with the landowner. A lot of times I'll get, oh, well, you can go out there and go in the gate and look at it, but we can't really get down to the brass tacks until both of us meet out there, take a look at the property, and you tell me what you want, where you think the lake should go. I'll tell you where the best place for it would be.
So when you say get down to brass tacks, you're basically trying to figure out to start building a relationship with that person.
Correct.
That's pretty important to you. You told me earlier. That's important to me too, because I really want to know who we're working with. And then once you figure out who they are and how they think, then it's kind of the next process is, okay, let's go take a look at the land and figure out what the land will allow. That's what I think I hear you telling me. All right, and so then when you're with your process of that, you've met Kenny Smith. You know he wants to build a lake. You know he's got a potential site. What do you do then?
We address, okay, what's the primary reason for your lake? Do you want to fish? Do you want to jet ski? Do you want to swim? Do you just want to sit on your deck and drink whiskey, which is nothing wrong with that? What is it that you mainly want to do with this lake? It can be all of the above. Mm-hmm. But all of that goes into, okay, now I start getting the picture of what this thing needs to look like. As well as I do, if you're building primarily just a trophy bass lake, if you're looking at the top of it, it looks like a nice lake, but underneath it, it may look like a total junkyard. And the more structure you have, the more diverse bottom you have.
Okay, so
you got to have spawning beds. You got to have deep spots for the fish to get down and get out of the heat. You got to have everything, and then you have to figure out, okay, what do I have to work with? How much dirt do we have to move? Because that's really the main question.
So after you figure out how much dirt you need to move, is that the primary function to start figuring out what it's going to cost?
That is. For me, I have to know how much dirt we're going to move in order to, A, build the dam, or, very seldom do we get to do one on just absolute flat ground. But what do I have to do with that dirt once I get it out of the ground? So That's number one. Then when we start adding on accessories, bigger tires, shinier rims.
So accessories means fish habitat, structure, cover, peninsulas, beach. Oh, that's a big one. Actually, where Fred Bingaman lives there in Brownstown, Illinois, having a pond with a beach is almost a necessity. You know, what's pretty funny is I travel around the nation, I see these amenities change from region to region. You know, what's going on in upstate New York is totally different than what goes on in central Texas, which is really different than what goes on in West Texas or north central Texas. You know, so it's pretty regional on what those amenities are. And like where you are, there's quite a few. I mean, we're like 55 miles from Houston, kind of west, pretty much west of Houston. And you have quite a few absentee landowners out here. So people that live in the city and have property in the country, they think about it differently than what a farmer or rancher that's been here for 4 generations thinks about what they want to do with their land. Is that a fair statement?
Absolutely.
You see that pretty often, don't you?
Yes.
All right. Folks, just kind of as a reminder, if you will, hashtag Pond Boss Magazine in the comments, click like, and share this video to your timeline. You'll be eligible for a Pond Boss hat and a Pond Boss mug drawing. You know what? We have a winner from last week. Looks like Matt Singley from Foxworth, Mississippi. And Matt just recently subscribed to the magazine, so we've got his mailing address. And hey, Clint, do you have a Pond Boss hat?
I do not.
Well, you do now. Do you have a Pond Boss mug?
Yes.
You do now.
I do now.
Expect you to be drinking coffee out of that tomorrow. Are you a coffee drinker?
Absolutely.